Okay. So hello everyone. My name is Azzoune. I am from Tunisia, North Africa. I am 18 years old, a climate activist, member of Fridays for Future and Youth for Climate Tunisia. Um, I've I've been I've been a member of Fridays for Future for about now three years, and we've held I created a small group in Tunisia in my city, which is called Tunis. It's the capital. And alongside with my friends at the school, we try to raise awareness about the climate crisis and how urgent it is. Because people in Tunisia are aware of the climate change, but are not ready to discuss solutions. They just say, I will recycle and everything's going to be fine, which is not the ideal solution. It's a great starting point, but it's not a great finishing point. And we had to address the big names, which are the fossil fuel industries and all the colonial from France and England that are stealing our coal and gas like all our African brothers. Therefore, we started to touch on that taboo thing. And we're still fighting, and hopefully, we will get something done with all our efforts. Yeah.
A great introduction, Amen. Maybe you should just go on and
Okay.
continue. Thank you.
Okay. I think there's something, so I would, my face would show. How do I do that?
We see you well.
Okay. Okay. I will start. Okay. Hello again, everyone. As I said, I come from Tunisia, a beautiful North African country that kisses the Mediterranean Sea, and I am deeply honored to be here with you all today. As we gather across borders, languages, and identities to demand climate justice and peace. But what I want is something painful, something uncomfortable but essential. How racism in Africa, especially in Tunisia, is helping fuel the climate crisis. Let me begin with the truth. I'd never seen a black African individual growing up until I was around 13. And even when I did, I had no idea what to do. I had learned the same racism the most of our culture, except that the darker individuals are less than or not like us. It's something ugly to say, but it's part of our reality. Then I became a climate activist and I started learning about the interconnections between oppression, colonization, and climate change. One sentence changed everything for me. There would be no climate crisis if it weren't for racism. I was shocked initially, but the more I researched, the more I knew how real it was. Racism makes exploitation legal of people, of land, and of resources. It has a pyramid with white supremacy at the top, marginalized communities in the middle, and nature at the bottom to be exploited at and not honored. We've become alienated from nature. and I realized something else. We are preparing in Tunisia the same colonial brutality that once victimized us, but now we are doing it to other Africans. You see, there was a wave of violence and hatred against black Africans lately, especially sub-Saharan migrants. They've been evicted from homes, fired at the workplace, harassed on the streets. Some were even deported by force and dumped in the middle of the desert, thirsty and hungry. Imagine, that's not policy, that's cruelty. And that's where the link with the climate crisis becomes glaring. If migrants are not offered shelter, safe water, and sanitation, they are pushed into insecure, unsustainable settings. Entire communities are deprived of protection from the environment. No waste disposal, no clean energy, and no safety. And beyond that, racism in Tunisia is blocking regional cooperation. How can North and Sub Saharan Africa work together on drought, desertification, or clean water projects if Tunisia is expelling Africans instead of embracing them? The African Union condemned Tunisia's actions. The World Bank even paused funding. When racism leads to isolation, we all lose. And that's the deeper threat. Racism hurts individuals, of course, but it also erodes the solidarity we need to stop the climate emergency. Tunisia is struggling through one of its worst droughts ever. And instead of discussing the real cause or infrastructure, bad management of the legacy of colonial extra activism, political elites choose to blame the other, our neighbors. But here's the truth. The climate crisis cannot be fixed without justice, and there is no justice while racism endures. So I invite all of us, especially North Africans like me, to catch a glimpse of ourselves in the mirror. We declare we are Africans, but still look upon sub-Saharan Africans as others, as dangers. We can build a green future on foundation of exclusion. We can protect the land if we dehumanize those who talk upon it. And as a Muslim, I'd like to include this. Racism is forbidden in Islam. And the judgment day, God will not judge us based on our color, nationality, or even religion. That means our dignity, our justice, and our compassion are more significant than any label. So whether our belief or our country, let us rise up together. As the French proverb says, l'union fait la force. Unity makes strength. Let's unite and stand up against this colonial regime that continues to enslave our world and our societies. Let us liberate humans and nature from the exploitative systems which created this pollution and destruction in the first place, because we either rise together or we fall divided under the same climate storms. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you, Amen. Excellent presentation and well said. Mary, are you present and available? And can we bring you on? I saw you for a second. Is Mary available? PCJ?
Mary is handling a technical issue, so we can just start over.
Okay.
Yeah.
Should we, are you saying we should continue?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. A question. Toward how is your time schedule? And Amen, would you like to answer a few questions if we get some from the audience?
Of course, of course.
Are there any questions for Amen? Either in the chat box, you can type them in or bring them up directly. I have one. I am very naive, so excuse my ignorance. But when you mentioned the impact of climate change on Tunisia, and what would you say are the worst effects just physically in the last, let's say, 3 or 4 months, whether it's rains or flooding or drought or heat or whatever?
Yeah. In the last 3 to 4 months, it was high temperatures and wildfires in our small forests that remained from the big destruction of them in 2010. As you know, in Tunisia, we don't have so much forests, and by burning them and etc. and so forth, all the forest will be gone. We have also a lot of drought. Even water in the bathroom is you can't drink it. It's so polluted, and well, that's one thing because the water that we have resources is being exploited and therefore is so dirty. No rain. Rain is the climate weirdness. For example, it's raining now. It's raining more than it's raining in winter. So, yeah, that's quite weird. But that's the result of our actions against our brothers and sisters in the continent. That's the result of behaving like what the French did to us when they came in 1881, when they came and killed Tunisians and put the French white people there, like the Nazis. The whites are better and everyone else is like zero. So, I'm seeing the same thing again and again, and I'm not surprised at all.
Thank you. Any other questions from the audience, either in the chat box?
Okay, I have a question on forest. What measures can we take to protect the small forests that remain in Tunisia? And how can communities be involved preventing fire and deforestation? And are there successful examples of forest restoration?
Great questions.
Yeah, yeah,
In other dry countries that Tunisia could learn from?
yeah. Starting from your last question, I was in Turkey in the last month in July studying the forest there because I heard that there's a great political policy that have been applied there to their forest, and I wanted to learn from the communities that live there and have an opinion and everything. And I was pretty amazed. Turkish people have made very strong policies to protect their forests, and they made very strong laws so that the people that go there to hunt or fish or to do a fire and all those things, there's if you do something against the law, you can go to prison and jail. So people are afraid of that. And they started in the education of small kids. They started teaching them about the importance of forests, of parks, of trees. And you can see that from when they grew up. I mean, there's a small park just for children, and the government wanted to make it like a swimming pool or something like that, and the parents were angry, and the students, you can see 4 and 5 years old students from the kindergarten coming and saying, no, no, don't touch our parks, they are so dear to us. That's the mentality that we should have. We don't have that in Tunisia. Here they made a small park. The next time you go, you will see garbage and trash and fires. There's no strong law. So I think that's a pretty great example to follow up on. We have to follow what Turkey and what Turkish people did to prevent the deforestation and the exploitation of forests. I think that's a great thing to start doing. Second, the exploitation and deforestation in Tunisia's forests is primarily due to a bad infrastructure. Like before, I mean, in the 80s, we had a great river that went through all of Tunisia. Now it's all, because of the drought, it doesn't exist anymore. And it breaks my heart. We are not trying to protect the forests. Our government is not doing anything, not even enough, anything. They don't care. And when in Youth for Climate Tunisia, the organization I'm a member in Tunisia, when we started protesting about this issue, the police came to us. We were scared. We thought, well, we'll go to jail. But they asked us, what are you protesting about? And we said the climate crisis and everything. And they started laughing and they went. They don't take climate seriously. They think it's a kind of a game. It's like everything's gonna be fine, but it's not. So I mean, that's, I think, in the mentality and in our great politicians' work. But it's really depressing, but I am hopeful. We're writing to the president, to the government, we're protesting despite they make us a joke, but we'll see who's gonna win at the end. We'll see who. Yeah.
Excellent response. Is Mary available yet? I do not see her. It might be a technical problem. Wycliffe, do you see whether she's available?
Mary is available on the Zoom.
Zoom. Okay, because I do not see her. Ah, I see Mary.
I'm
Welcome,
here.
Mary. Okay, welcome.
Thank you.
It's your turn. Please unmute and please turn on your video. We cannot hear you, Mary. Can you unmute and turn on your video, please? Still not working. Okay.
Rolf,
Yes.
just before I forget, I talked to Ken Batts and Janine about the summit, and they agreed to post it on the Fridays for Future Facebook page and Instagram. I just wanted to let you know about that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, Mary, at the expense, if you can please unmute, try to do that so we can get you going. You might have technical problems. Okay, first of all, okay, Mary, now we
sure.
see. Okay, can you please
Yes.
proceed?
Hello?
Yes, we hear you.
For
You
a
must,
minute.
you were on and you were welcome, but you're turning on and off on your mute so we can hear. Now we hear you.
I want to rejoin. I'm not getting clearly. You're breaking. Let me restart, join again. Leave and start, join again.
Okay, so first of all, thank you, Amen. And today's morning's featured speaker is Tord Björk out of Sweden. We've been working together, I think, for almost 2 years, and Tord has a much longer history than I have in the environmental movement. Highly respected, writes very well, is a terrific, dedicated producer, has worked in the anti-nuclear movement in Sweden many years ago, and is dedicated to, I would say, the phrase to have peace above the ground and on the ground, and probably under the ground as well. I rephrase that in 3 instead of 2 phrases. So I will let Tord take over. And before I do that, I have to stop one recording and start another. And so I will stop 1 second and then ask Tord to step in.